So, while the new record, I'm actually not going to, even in my set today and tomorrow, I'm not going to talk about like what the songs are about. I'm going to try to keep that vague, which is a product of where I'm at in this process, which is like, I learned a couple of weeks ago, still new, that I had done a whole life of kind of leading the conversation where I wanted to go for my own safety. Not wanting it to like, not wanting to go bad, so I can keep you in a certain spot. And so like as I'm moving away from that, it's like, okay, I'm just going to play it and let's see what happens. So, kind of doing a quiet rollout on the record. It'll come out like more official and streaming and all that stuff eventually. But like, it's really counterintuitive to be like, hey, this is just a song. I hope you figure out, you take it for what you want it to be. Versus like, this is a song and this is what it's about, and I want you to like think this about me. In that process, I'm kind of hitting on various stuff that I'm probably not even going to put on a press release. I'm not even recording them right now. That record it's a really mid-process record. I'm still in process, and I don't know when I'll be in like a couple of weeks, and I don't know when this is. So it's thoroughly different than I was four months ago but I'm not done, so I don't know where this particular part of the process ends and how that will shift right now. So the album is called I Write the Songs I Need, and it became like a moment where I was like, man, I'm actually, the songs that I need for my process are actually showing up right here. I found an old set of demos from 2014. They felt like I felt like right now. Topically, they weren't the same. I wasn't dealing with faith crisis very much at all in this process, actually. But those songs felt like I felt right now, and so I started hanging out with the songs. And they took on new forms and had new choruses and new life and new topics, and they just kind of shifted where they wanted to go. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I've not really been privy to a process that just felt like it kind of led itself. And I was still like sitting on this. I mean, I'd only been working on this for a couple months because this is all pretty fresh. So to Lloyd's credit, you know, talking about stress and testing. But like, I wasn't sure. Like, I know I have basically a solo record written, but I've got a lot of records written. If you want to look at my archive, there's a bunch of them. So why this one right now? I wasn't really sure. And then talking to my therapist, we hit on this moment that just kind of like it made sense. I was rambling about music and blah blah blah. And he was like, he pointed out, like, I don't think music's actually like been a heal. It has healed you. And I was like, I think you're right. Like, I have put out a lot of music, and I think it's valuable, and I think you should buy it. I'm not saying don't buy it. I don't care about this or anybody else's creativity. But for me, it wasn't the healing that I needed to just express it, to just get the songs out. Wasn't the magic elixir to like, oh, I sang about my pastor wound, and then all of a sudden I love pastors. It wasn't that simple. I don't know if anybody else can identify it. It's not that simple. But it really like was just like, man, this isn't actually doing anything. And then I read Rick Rubin has a book called The Creative Act that I really like. And he had a thing where it's like an artist's job is to capture the moment where they see the world. And I was like, oh, dude, like I can maybe do that. And then Tess was like, hey, do you think you can make that record like the next 3 days before you go to Oregon? And I was like, I probably can. And I did. And I'm really happy with it, and it mastered it, and it sounds great. And it's the thing as a solo artist, the thing I'm most proud of in my life. It's the first time I've done a vocal and guitar record since 2010. I did other ones, but they always had other things on them. I didn't know that. It's the first record since...
It's a No Sleeper or something?
Since Take It Easy, it's the first one that doesn't have anything else. So I guess 2008. I thought about it. I did a banjo one in there somewhere. But yeah, I didn't know what that would be. So I've been all sorts of shit, and where I'm going with that. I know that my values have shifted, my life has shifted, my relationship to people has shifted. Hugging, talking feels different. I look at myself in the mirror and I feel different, which is really wild to be like, I learned something and I look in the mirror and I see myself differently. It's been really cool. I've learned a lot about layers of how we hold stress and trauma that I had no idea about. And again, I'm coming from the perspective of a therapist, I'm trained, I work in trauma. I see people heal from their stuff for a living, which is really cool. And then realizing that there was just layers and layers and layers that I didn't know has been really humbling. And then sometimes I know enough to guide you where you need to go. I'm actually not sure if I can help you with that right now. It's been really interesting. So I'm going to play one more song, and then we'll hang out and talk, and then I'll get it up again. Like a dollar bill on a sidewalk, someday I'm moving on. Like a dinner that's gone cold, someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Like a penny in an offering, someday I'm moving on. Like a car stuck on the tracks, someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Like a tiny home in a tornado, like an engine on the fritz, like a senior about to graduate, or a firework that's lit. Someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Someday I'm moving on. Since I was just about to close the guitar and say I'm done, thank you, I forgot. I should tell you. At 11 o'clock, what's the panel called? I'm missing the name.
Behold, I do these things, God, Lord.
Okay, I'm going to sit on that panel at 11. And then I'm going to go pick up my kids at the hotel. They're sleeping, hopefully. They're probably watching backwards, but they're in the hotel. And then at 4:15, we're going to do a Noisy Do-Gooders set, which is Destroy Nate Allen plus our kids. I'll be performing songs my second grader wrote. It's kind of fun. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a good St. Nathaniel set. I'm going to play my whole new record front to back. It's only 33 minutes, so I'm going to kind of Ramones it and just see if I can get through the whole thing. I'm thankful to get to hang out, and thank you for coming and chilling and talking. There's merch over there. There's an album I'm really proud of, a new shirt, and all sorts of other new little stuff. I think I had my book last year, but if you had the original one, that's 15 to 20% different now. And I'm still proud of it. It is more kind of a how-to guide for when you're having a hard time, more than I presented today. So thank you very much for hanging out, and enjoy Audiofeed. I am Nate Allen.